The races are over and it's all downwind and downhill from here. It's July 27th, 2012, and this is Make and Break. Thank you for tuning in to Make and Break Radio on RadioMackinac.org. I'm your host, Daniel Calvin. The Port Huron and Chicago Yacht Club's races are all wrapped up and stowed. I must say that it seems to me that the whole lot of folks stopped by and enjoyed what they wanted of the island as much as they possibly could stand. I can't say I heard very many incidents, especially those requiring police assistance. Everything I heard about was pretty run-of-the-mill humdrum stuff. A few pants soilings and an assault involving a trash can. No charges were filed, at least not in that incident. Not at all yacht-related, but still occurring during the races was an incident that may go down in Mackinac lore, possibly even more than the Hurley Heat incident of 1983. An attempt was made to make YouTube history, but the only thing that was made was bail that day, and that nearly failed as well. A group of 20-somethings arrived last Sunday on Mackinac with the intention of producing a viral video for the lulz. These Sudbury, Canada youth had everything planned down to a T with one glaring exception. They didn't realize that it was the week of the Chicago Yacht Race. Their ideas, they would later find out, clashed completely with those of the crew of a J-35 sailboat named Captain Crunch. Details are sketchy. Some have said the video was meant to depict a Godzilla-like attack on the island of Mackinac, while others say it was just fancy dress gone bad. What we do know is that a member of the film crew was wearing on Sunday night a lizard suit adorned with high heels, lots of makeup, and a blonde wig. The costume also included a pink t-shirt that stated in glitter paint, "I'm not in drag, I'm a drag-in." As the night wore on and the drinks flowed, a flirtation commenced between the Dragon Lady and a deckhand from the Captain Crunch. Glances were passed, and hands were touched. It is believed that the romance hatched after a 30-minute barstool incubation period. It is possible that the shell was broken completely shortly thereafter. The two departed about 11:37 that evening. For several minutes the deckhand and the dragon would not be seen until screams of confusion and yells of dismay filled the bathroom hallway. "She's a dude!" the deckhand screamed as he re-entered the bar. "The drag lizard is in drag!" his dismayed voice proclaimed. As he tried to explain the situation to his crew members, a disheveled lizard meandered into the bar, tail between its legs. Friends intervened on both sides, and soon a brawl erupted. Chairs flew, tethered glasses became suddenly autonomous. After the melee was quashed by Mackinac Island's finest, the stories started to come forth. The deckhand claimed that he thought it was a lizard that just was very, very homely in an ironic t-shirt. The lizard, on the other hand, claimed that he couldn't tell he was talking to a guy because his vision was messed up and obscured by the mask. But the touching seemed nice, he said. The bar staff seemed to be quite pleased with Mackinac's latest star-crossed pair. Even though a few glasses were broken and chairs were knocked over, only one minor was charged with any crime. The bartenders later told me that the whole scene tendered enough laughter and stories that they felt that was payment enough. That was a lucky group. Now let's get on with the show. Thanks again for tuning into Make and Break Radio on RadioMackinac.org. I was going through making the playlist this evening and ran across a whole bunch of uncategorized, unnamed tracks in my collection. And I'm going to share them with you tonight. I wish I knew what they were called. I wish I knew who the artists were. Live 365 might get me I might get into some trouble with Live 365 because of this. But honestly, for various reasons, these tracks just never were titled properly, and at least the vast majority of them aren't. There's some rockabilly stuff kind of flowing into some I guess country and western, and some other things that are kind of punky. I think you're really going to enjoy these just to mix things up a bit, and if, not if anything, I'm just kind of giving an explanation for why this week's set list is a little bit different than usual. I hope you enjoy. Have fun. I've decided that there is a second skit that I would like to produce to pair with my men's room skit. It would be a series of vignettes of average Joes drinking beer and discussing various topics. Each successive moment would display changes in mood and sobriety. The point being that I think that sports debates are a waste of time and energy and brain cells, and some of the greatest minds I've known have limited their point of interest to sports trivia. Well, what if the sports bar scenario was the same, but the discussion was actually, abortion, wars on drugs or terror, immigration, those kinds of things? The punchline would be a wobbly-headed, red-faced man yelling proudly as he slams his empty can of Genesee on the table. "Warrantless wiretaps are okay, man, if you got nothing to worry about. You ain't got nothing to hide. Hell, I ain't got nothing to hide." He then pukes down the front of his shirt. End of skit. Medicated patches. Who came up with the color? They're not even a familiar shade like Band-Aid. I got hurt, look at my Band-Aid pink. It's more like we were attempting to mimic the color of the flesh of the girlfriend of the CEO of our company. This has to be it, because there can only be a dozen people on this planet that color. 300 million people exist in the United States, each one of them a different shade. These things are worn in easily reached yet inconspicuous places. Why hide it with dumb shades of beige that do nothing but make it more noticeable, like makeup on a black eye or a zit? People these days seem to be proud of the pharmaceuticals they take. Why not take advantage of this? I have a few suggestions, all of which should make Glaxo and Pfizer even more money. Sell advertising. It could be for Sonic Drive-In, Walmart, Nike, or maybe even another one of your meds. Allow for custom images. Use random pictures of fun themes picked by the patient. Puppies, national parks, hot cars, porno. How about allowing users to use their own images to be printed on the medicated patches? For an extra fee, you could share a new picture every week of your trip to the lake, your puppy, your drink-swilling pals, or even that great family reunion. This, of course, could be easily synced with your Facebook images folder. Go ahead, share those pictures of twisted tea on a pontoon boat, right on your shoulder. You could get prescribed onto enough stick-on medications that you could sleeve yourself and never be bored with the story that your body art tells. And, of course, you could just offer fun patterns and prints. Zebra for the animal lovers and the sexy, and tartans for those too scared to actually wear a kilt. Take my advice, Big Pharma, and when you do, remember that I think I have my stuff copyrighted. This has been Straight Talk Straights, and I'm Daniel Calvin. It's now time for listener feedback. Listeners, I want to know, what do you have in your cargo shorts pockets? What kind of cargo do you short around? No innuendo here, kids, trust me. Phones, MP3 players. Did you know that cops call phones and MP3 players capture devices? I didn't. Anyway, let me know what's in your pants. Share with me the contents of your pants via text, image, or voice recording at show@makebreakshow.com. That's show@makebreakshow.com. Well, thank you for listening to Make and Break Radio, episode 77 on radiomackinac.org. Well, it's another week of having some internet connection problems. Hopefully it didn't drive too many of you away. And if it did, well, there's another one just coming in right now. Alright, well, anyway, hopefully that didn't get too irritating. And hope you enjoyed the strange mix of music. And I hope you have a great week. Join me again next week, radiomackinac.org. 10 o'clock Friday night. Do it. Up. Be there. Same bad channel. Oh, how many more things am I going to steal? Alright, good night.